Later that night. So it turns out, this isn't Captain Olimar at all, but rather some other fellow named Louie. And I suppose that fuselage we saw must have been the remnants of Olimar and Louie's ship. Seems like that huge monster really did a number on it though. Food! Is that all you think about? Didn't we just feed you? It's great to be reunited with my rubber ducky. With him by my side, I feel like I can achieve anything. Is anyone listening to me? Louie doesn't have a cosmic drive key. We need to find out if he knows where the real Olimar is. Day 30. Searching for signals. Found one at the formidable oak, which is where the game told us we were supposed to go. Before we knew it, oops. According to Louie, the real Olimar is out there somewhere. We'll finally get our cosmic drive key back. If what Louie says can be trusted, that is. Alright, let's move out. And finally, hey y'all, it's Jag. Welcome back to the arcade. Let's get back to just another game, Pikmin 3, where we could head for the formidable oak to finish the game, but we've got some places to be. We've got 8 fruit remaining over in the distant tundra, and we have 1 in the Garden of Hope. But before we go anywhere, I want to look at some of our exploration notes, specifically the indigenous life notes. I don't think we're going to be getting too many more of these. We might, but I might as well go through what we have. And I'm going to treat this just like I did the Pikmin notes. I'm going to go through them slowly and you read them at your own pace. Armored Maudad, number 1. Number 2. Behemoth Fosbat, number 1. Number 2. Sand-belching Meerslug, number 1. Number 2. Scornet. Scornet Maestro. Quaggled Mireclops, number 1. Number 2. Bulborb, number 1. Number 2. Dwarf Bulborb. Yellow Wollywog. Peckish Aristocrab. Joustmite. Desiccated Skitterleaf. Toady Bloister. Shaggy Longlegs. Arachnode. Bearded Amprat. Burrowing Snagret. Pellet Posy. Hiding. And there we go. We may get a few more files, there are some more empty spaces, but for now, that's what we got. I'm not gonna go through the controls or the area hints, like the area hints are just puzzle solutions for things that we eventually did figure out. And I will go through Olimar's log and Olimar's log number 2 at a later point when we've actually probably completed the logs. I do want to go through our final 2 fruit files. Look at our fruit, it's all full. I don't know what to call this. Fruit screen, good enough. Astringent Clump, 2 juice, 1 out of 2 in the game, 10 needed to carry. A little sweet, a little sour, but mostly bitter. Alf can't cope with the bitterness and wants me to sweeten it somehow. but I have to say it's growing on me. Maybe he'll mature into it. And the Wayward Moon. 3 juice, only one in the game, took 20 to carry it. Once you get past the tough cratered exterior, this fruit has a refined, almost delicate flavor. It kind of reminds me of the captain, except he's all exterior. Alright. So with that, we're ready to head to the Garden of Hope and pick up that final bit of fruit. Juice left 54. Alright, let's go ahead and pick up all the rocks. These are nice and mature. We're gonna put them back pretty quick though. And then we don't have much to do here. From what I can see, we got all the files we needed to get. And there's only one piece of fruit left to find, so this is gonna be kind of a relaxing, really building up our forces kind of day. Exploring and see if, kind of looking around and just relaxing more than anything else. Alright, let's take 60 blue. Yeah, that's good enough. Probably could have handled this had I remembered how to get there properly, and already I have to check to see if I'm going the right way, and I am. So at least I have that going for me. Go through the gate, and we're going right back to the same area we ended yesterday at. This time we're actually going to take on the bug-eyed crawmad, I think it's called. Basically the enemy that looks like it's real good eating according to my Cajun instincts. If it don't want to eat me first, now we have fought one of these already. We have fought one already. We already know the secret, we just didn't know what it was called. Stay at a 45-degree angle. Attack its eyes more than anything else. Do not get in front of it. It likes to lunge out and get Pikmin. And then once both of its eyes are down, go for its delicious underbelly. That really looks like it would cook up good in a boil. Come here, get to your feet. Alright, everybody's collected. Good. Alright, I think we saved the Pikmin. Yes, we did. Barely. They got in front of it. That was a bad place to be. Alright, one more go at it and we should be done. Let's go ahead and pull back a little bit. Start throwing from a safer distance. Yeah, that's what I figured you were gonna do. Pretty obvious. There we go. This should do it. Tickle him until he dies from it! Yay! And we're just already organized to take everything back. Actually, I'm gonna let you guys carry that back for the most part, but I think I want to turn it into yellow? Yeah, I could use yellow. I'm gonna let you carry it back, and then I'm gonna call you off and we'll turn it into yellow Pikmin. But that star fruit is the final fruit of the game? Or, final fruit of the game. Final fruit of the area. Now it's just a matter of exploring and finding other things we want. So let me get this organized. I'm actually astounded you guys did not die. I remembered a little too late that there was bulborbs there. Actually, I cleared out most of them, so it wasn't going to be a disaster, but that baby wing could have been bad. Yellows, take that back. Blues, come kill this. Captains, you kill it. Did I kill it with a captain? No. Actually, yellows, you take that too. Out of everything I've got left off, or all the Pikmin that I've got the fewest yellows. So let's just plant as many yellows as we can as early as we can. They're not going to fully mature for the day, but they will get somewhat mature. They might get to bud stage. Right. Is there anything I want to go look at? Is there anything I want to go look at while we're here? That's a good question. We didn't go through this cave, did we? Oh, no, that's... Right, no, that is, that's the lunchbox. Where we got, I think, the mock bottom. I don't know, let's just kind of wander around, look for resources. Actually, I did see something I'm curious about. I've got to bring out some pink Pikmin for it. So let's see here. Nope! Cancel! Cancel! I hate that it's so sensitive to get to the call Pikmin screen. This'll do. What I could do is I could look for some nectar and mature them up that way. But I saw some flubweed over here I'm curious about. Also, why are you guys just sitting there? I saw some flubweed over here. What's under here? Probably just a pellet. I don't think there's any hidden goodies anywhere. Oh! I should, okay, yeah, then I should raise the yellow Pikmin. Okay, it's just a pellet. I should get the yellow Pikmin that we got and turn them into flowers, because that's plenty of nectar to do that with. Alright, let's do that. Alright. Put the pink Pikmin and the blue Pikmin up. Pull out all the yellow Pikmin. Because, you know, I'm not gonna want to leave anything here. We're not coming back here after today. And I know it's not a real exciting episode because it's basically just me doing gathering and resource management, but it'll be nice to finish this area. We might see some things we didn't know before. I don't know what that is. All right. I mean, it's X marks the spot, obviously, but why? And I can't do anything with it. Alright. Whatever doesn't bloom here, we can take to the other one. We got a third. Oh, there's one right there. Perfect. Alright, come get a sip of this. And bloom. Bloom. Alright, is that everyone? Looks like it. Okay, good. Alright. So that was handy. What is... I guess it's just an indicator showing that you can lock onto that. I'm not sure what else it would be used for. And I don't really have a reason to just take yellows anywhere. Okay, this is back towards the armored Maudad, isn't it? Just looking in here, see if there's anything we could use. Does not look like it. I should note that even though I've been really good about taking all the spoils back before the day ends, if you have to leave and you can't get the fruit or the boss back to your ship, they'll be there the next day. So you don't have to get it in the same day. Just to kind of put your mind at ease about that if you're worried about that. You don't absolutely have to bring things back to your ship on the same day that you get them. Also, one thing that I'm a little bit late in pointing out that I really should. The relationship between Olimar and Louie. Olimar, I don't know if you've picked up on this, is an anagram of Mario. Olimar is supposed to be Mario. He's brave, a little bit bumbling with his faults. But yeah, he's just basically a reference to Mario. Even though he's not red. He is kind of short and rotund. Louie is a little bit taller, a little bit skinnier, and he is named for Luigi. Only he doesn't share many traits with Luigi other than being tall and skinny. I don't think Luigi is a glutton where he would steal people's food. But Louie, I'm gonna keep calling him that now. Louie was introduced in the second game, and that's where you first had the idea between switching between captains and multitasking really take off. Because Olimar and Louie returned to Planet 404, and they were looking for more treasure to get Hocotate Freight out of debt, and they had to work together. So you had two captains that could each take a squad of Pikmin, and eventually, after you got Hocotate Freight out of debt, your boss would join you. And then you would have three captains to switch between, which was really important for some post-game stuff. Don't see anything of interest over there. So this is not the first game where you had swap between up to three captains. Not even close. In fact, the first game is kind of the outlier in which you were only controlling Olimar and nobody else. The second game also did not have flying Pikmin or rock Pikmin. Instead, you had red, yellow, and blue Pikmin, and you had purple and white Pikmin. I've made reference to these a couple of times. Purple Pikmin were super heavy. They had a lot of weight, which means they had a lot of power when they landed on an enemy, kind of like how rock Pikmin are. But unlike rock Pikmin, purple Pikmin had 10 times the weight of the average Pikmin. So, okay, I was trying to lock onto that, but go off, game. So it would only take like one purple Pikmin to carry something back like an apple, which normally takes 10. The problem with that is, like, it did make purple Pikmin a little bit broken in a lot of areas. You just carried purple Pikmin, because why would you carry anything else? You don't need anything else as long as you have purple Pikmin. Now, white Pikmin were a little bit unique. I mean, I say that like I'm not describing everything that's unique. But white Pikmin were incredibly weak. However, they were poisonous. So they were Pikmin that you wanted to use and let them get eaten, because then they would poison the enemy that they're eaten by and deal pretty good damage that way. More damage, really, than they would have done if you just fought with them normally. That's kind of unique. Their other special thing was they could see underground and they could dig up hidden treasures. They could see things that the player couldn't see because they had X-ray vision, and if they just found something, they would just start digging for it. And it was funny how they would do it too, because sometimes if you were just going along and minding your own business, you just lose a bunch of white Pikmin. They'd start digging up something buried. Hang on a second. Shush. She's griping at me. Go on. I think they were better at digging than yellow Pikmin were in this game. Guess I need to pull everything up. Yeah, she's fussing at me because it's her midday meal time, so she's like, why aren't you feeding me? I'm like, I'm trying to monologue, cat. Could you not have waited a few more minutes? But yeah, those were the special Pikmin in Pikmin 2. And honestly, I kind of like the thought of purple Pikmin. If they had been nerfed properly, they would have been really handy to kind of mess around with in this game. You do get to use them in challenge mode. You will see me play with white and yellow Pikmin there. or white and purple Pikmin there, but they don't appear in the main game at all. It's kind of a shame. Pikmin 2 also had dungeons, which was a real unique concept. We have not seen much of that in Pikmin 3. We have seen caves, but we haven't seen anything like dungeons to explore. It's actually kind of really interested in playing Pikmin 2 just to see those. Pikmin 2, I think, is supposed to be one of the harder Pikmins compared to the other two. This is the easiest one. I think Pikmin 2 is supposed to be slightly harder than the first one, and the first one is obviously in between. There's one dungeon in Pikmin 2 that I know brings a lot of people nightmares because you're being chased the entire time. Alright, with that, the Garden of Hope is complete. All done. We won't have to come back here again. We don't have any falls to pick up. We got all the fruit. We're good to go. So the only other place we have to go before we hit up the Forbidden Oak, or the Forsaken Oak, whatever it was, we need to go back to the Distant Tundra and pick up, I think, 9 fruit to finish out the game. And there is one upgrade and a few falls that we need to get as well. So the Distant Tundra is going to be our final big side quest filled area. Fruit retrieved today, 2, technically 1. But we get 2 balls out of it. So we'll be up to 55 after we finish today's. Which means that we have drank and collected. Since we're sharing with the Hokitation, everyone's portions are smaller tonight. The captain's in particular. He got plenty. Well, I've gotten around, what? 8? I'm thinking 85 juice? Because we'll have drinking 30 of it and there's 55 remaining. It's a lot of juice. And of course, we didn't lose any Pikmin today. And what's our final closing thoughts? Our exploration of the planet has reached day 30. We've gathered 58 pieces of fruit and have secured a decent number of seeds as well. We will be able to save many kopites with what we have collected thus far. However, we are still in need of more. We will all need to put our backs into it. After all, that fruit isn't going to pick itself. Brittany. Of course, that's what we got the Pikmin for! Alright, so starting tomorrow, we'll return to the Distant Tundra and finish up that area. And then it's finally time to go to the Forsaken Oak. Thanks so much for coming out and joining me today. As always, I appreciate it. If you enjoyed what you saw, let me know. Give me a like, leave me comments. Remember to subscribe. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.